Is that... Is that a fucking deer? Pretty sure that's a deer. And he's just staring at me. And I'm just staring at him.
Well, he looks at me, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him.
Alright, I'm gonna leave you alone now. Okay, so I'm doing a lot better today. It's almost like I woke up with a mission to go on. I did hit my head yesterday, so just before I went to bed, and I just feel very clear-headed and ready and good today. So maybe just, you know, the thing that I wanted to have happen since I was 9 years old, where I would just hit my head and then whatever was wrong with my brain would go away, and that's not a fun joke. That's not a fun joke. I shouldn't joke about that. Anyway, I'm feeling a lot better and a lot more motivated, and maybe it's just because, like, I mean, if you haven't noticed, I am really bad at feeling motivated, so I motivate myself with very intensely imaginary carrots. Last night, as I was just kind of thinking everything and about, like, you know, wanting to see my friends more and how that would look like and everything, and I guess I just kind of started to, like, imagine, like, what would I do if I had, like, I don't know, like, $1 million, and, honestly, the answer is just I'd probably buy a house, and maybe even for some of my friends who I feel like deserve a lot more than what they have in life, I might even buy them a house. And that's before I even get into, like, the things that I would do for, like, my family and stuff. But the point is, then I started to think about how, like, because I also know people who basically want to start, like, moving out and living on their own or with friends that are more like-minded as them, thinking, like, well, what if I even just, like, made enough money off of YouTube to be able to support myself, like, support renting a place. And I'm rambling. Point is, I feel a lot more, like, ready and focused, and have been, like, doing... I haven't been able to do the things I've been wanting to do, though. Like, I've been, like, doing all kinds of other different stuff. Like, one of the things is my leg. Maybe this is TMI. I gave myself my testosterone shot today, which was supposed to be yesterday, and I forgot. And I have a lot of anxiety around needles. So having to do my testosterone shot by myself has always been kind of rough. But, I don't know, maybe it's just because I've been so much more spacey outy lately, but you know, normally I would be, like, wearing a mask. I'd be, like, going super overboard about it, wearing a mask, and shaving some part of my leg because I'd be worried about leg hairs, and just, like, going super overboard about it, because I'm always, like, even if there's just, like, a small, like, you're supposed to get rid of the air bubbles, but, like, basically I'm just constantly worried that if I do something wrong, I'll die. That's, I mean, you can and accidentally hurt yourself with this whole process of thing, but, like, that's not the first thing on the list that could happen. But today, like, I just kind of started to kind of go through it and made sure I was going through all the steps, that I needed to. But then, once the needle was, like, all the way in my leg twitched. And that sucked. It doesn't hurt right now. It doesn't feel any more sore than it normally would. But I'm trying really hard not to be an angsty poo-poo head about it. Because there's stuff I want to do. I started to think about, like, you know, YouTube Shorts, and, like, a lot of people are saying that they use YouTube Shorts to like get new subscribers and get new people interested and stuff like that. And I just had this thought of like, what if I just took, especially now that shorts will be longer than just like 5 seconds. I started thinking like, what if I took small bits from my videos and made them into shorts? And I have like one from Dualities of Wilfred Warpstash, but I want to post it now, but I want to wait until like Friday or Saturday, because those are usually like the big days where the types of people who are looking for that sort of content are online. I've also, I think, I've started getting a lot of ideas also for my video about whatchamacallit, parasocial relationships. I've had one in my head for a while where I would like started out just talking about like Steve from Blue's Clues and Mr. Rogers and all that stuff, and I still want to do that, and I've had that idea for over a year, and like maybe it's just because of like the stuff that I'm going through right now. I'm feeling very like alone and thinking of how like one of my go-to things to make me feel better and make me feel less alone is frankly Markiplier stuff. And even just like interacting with the fandom and doing that sort of stuff. Like there's a way for me to sort of talk about that through that video, as well as some of the other important subjects I want to talk about. I'm not sure exactly how much of what of it, because there's a lot to talk. There's a lot when it comes to parasocial relationships. There's a lot going on there. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go work on things now for a little while. Am I holding this upside down? No. Okay. I'm writing some things. Like, I don't normally do this, or at least not on anything that, like, needs precision. What's the phrase? Throw up, clean up? You throw up in the night and then you clean it up in the morning. It's a writer thing. It's a writer thing. You wouldn't know unless you also are a writer. Man, I wonder if any of my old friends would watch this from college and the magazine. Even some of my friends from Park Day, because when you're homeschooled, that's what you do. You go to Park Day. I'm just thinking, I just wanted to record and say, I don't know. I've been worried about how I just don't feel as passionate about things anymore like I used to. People are always telling me, talk to me about Pokemon. I have a Pokemon game. A Pokemon game that I could use to play against other people. I used to wish for that so much when I was a kid. I wanted it more than anything. And now I have it. And it just doesn't feel the same. It feels weirder now. It's like, maybe almost like I understand it too well, you know? The whole thing of like, there's only so much of like suspension of disbelief, I guess, when you have been analyzing how to make video games, how to make stories, how animation works, and like you can kind of see all the little tricks the animators are doing and that the writers are doing, all of them, and god damn it, I was bitten by a mosquito, you bastard. That's gonna be fun. I did not get him, did I? No, I did not. Why do I have my light on? Turn my music on too. We're gonna have some fun for a little bit. I need some fun for a little bit. Because I feel like I've been hitting a ceiling. Like, this is stuff I don't want to talk about, which I'm totally gonna talk about now. Haha. Fuck you, Future Ed. There's this very special type of damage type of drama that comes up with being as broke as I am all the time. It's gotten, I mean, heck, right now I'm still like worlds better than I was like 5 years ago or even 2 years ago. Like, I'm not so dependent on just like, I've been doing some things. I have a little bit of money, I guess. Not enough for it to matter. Not enough for me to have better health insurance or anything like that. But it's like, you know, it's enough where it's like if I was making this amount of money off of YouTube, I would be pretty happy. But I need new clothes. I need so many things. And so much upkeep when I stop just doing the bare minimum. A lot of upkeep for me to be confident in myself. Both just mentally and financially. What if the reason I'm so depressed, what if the reason I can't be passionate about things is because of my depression? And what if I'm depressed still because I still don't feel like I have enough power? I don't have enough control over my life. And that's, you know, people say like money is power and blah, blah, blah. I had to close my bank account in 2019, I think. I had to close it because they had started charging a fee for every month where you were not putting money into the bank. Just like, I don't know, like a month or two after they did it. And they charged you like a fee of like $5. Oh, so scary. But yeah, it did not take very long for me to run out of money. Like, I only just got to the point where I could be like on the Markiplier thing, the $5 subscription so that you can like see his Monday morning mixers and stuff. Like, I've only been doing that for a couple of years. I know everybody's feeling it. Everybody's feeling it when it comes to being broke. I can tell, like, you know, the more I get money and I spend money, the more I realize how tough it is. But also, sometimes I feel like people just, they take it for granted that they even have anything. Like that whole thing was just like, oh, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, so it's totally fine if we buy this like $60 or $80 game, even though it supports fascism and really mean, terrible people who are actively hurting others. I didn't even have an option there. There was no choice for that because I could not afford a video game. I couldn't even afford a $20 video game. Maybe a $15 video game. That's the thing, there's having money and there's being able to afford things. Just because you have $15 doesn't mean you can afford to spend it. I'm starting to get really shaky. It's only because I'm cold. It's not because I'm reacting emotionally to this at all. I don't react to things emotionally. What are you talking about? That's not me. I never do that. After the way that certain fandoms have disappointed me, and certain storytellers have disappointed me, certain YouTubers, you know, you admire somebody or something so much and then you see it just kind of fall apart and die, or you see them coming out of the shadows. It's turning out to have been like just like been freaking Death Eaters from Harry Potter. Or just absolutely obnoxious fools. Absolute assholes. Either way, you see so much of that, and then you see the stories and the IPs being like horrendously abused as they're just handed off from one writer to the next and misunderstood and just not taken. Start to lose hope, I guess. If even the AAA games aren't gonna be, they're just gonna let you down. On top of the fact that I can determine for myself, or at least as far as I can tell and I can believe, that like I know how they could have avoided those things, how things could have been done better, or I know that their budget is low, and that's the reason they're doing it a certain way, and their budget's only low because their producers are shitty or whatever. Whatever it is that makes it just like bad, and just kind of reflects the state of the world in how it's bad. And all that time I couldn't even fucking buy merch for him anyway. Except aside from every now and then. Most of the merch I have is a gift from somebody. Maybe when you have enough money to be able to do something with yourself, it's not as difficult. Maybe when you can buy yourself some fucking bananas whenever you want. If they're $10 or $2. It'll be easier to not just believe in myself, but to believe in other things again, and other people. Because right now, as I'm trying to write this script for a video, I'm realizing in myself, like, nothing gets me as excited as any of Markiplier's big projects, as anything else ever used to be. Like the frickin' Super Hula Hawk and all of that stuff. It's just nothing in comparison now. Remember when Game of Thrones was cool? Remember how fun that was before they just pointed the cannon down at the base of their ship and just shot themselves? Flipped the whole thing upside down. Trying to use my hyperfixation for motivation feels like I'm just trying to lasso a fucking, I don't know, something very fast. Dragon, I would say, even. And just holding on as tight as you can. So I keep trying to remind myself, it is getting easier. It's only feeling harder because I'm trying to do more things. And I'm trying to do too many things. I'm still probably stunted in a lot of things, in a lot of ways. I would say that my Arrested Development isn't as bad as it used to be. But, there's still just certain things that I just have not been doing, and thus don't have any experience in. I hope I use this one.